The one and only Mellow Downs is coming.
Hey, what up?
Poetry.
They're gonna get further than me. They're just pockets of gold ready to be discovered.
I'm starting to realize how exhausted I am.
I'm pretty stressed at the moment, I'm not gonna lie.
The meeting was pretty tenuous the other day. We decided that they needed to come and see the venue.
This is gangster. Welcome to Trinity Folk. I'm gonna be cracking the whip on quite a few of yous. And remember, you've got your own individual roles now, so we can't fail each other.
I got beef with my lower self. I might take him out. Give a fuck if he run his mouth. That's what this about. In the cut, middle fingers out. It's the ground and pound. Hit us out when he come around. I'm so fucking free, fucking free.
My body is mine. My body is mine. I'm a woman. What I do with my body ain't none of your business. I'm a woman.
Tonight we are doing a dance rehearsal for our big gig coming up. Yeah, I'm pretty nervous and excited, but today will be good just knowing that I'm doing the prep. I'm Iris G. I'm a Filipina from Avondale, aka Avondale, and I am an R&B singer. We're doing a song that I wrote called My Body Is Mine, and it's about woman empowerment vibes and reclaiming your body after going through sexual assault.
Was a girl so scared of girls who ever said.
So I won Smoke-Free Rock Quiz in 2016, feeling like I was on top of the world. In the following year, me and my first girlfriend broke up, and I had never experienced heartbreak before, so I was completely devastated. 3 days after the breakup, my friend came over, who's a guy. He just took advantage of my vulnerability and touched me when I didn't want it. I just froze. It's been really hard for me to deal with because I feel like I failed myself. I saw flamenco dancing in a cave in Granada in the south of Spain. And they have this word to describe it called El Duende, and it's like the life force that's behind flamenco. And I like to think of it as being in a flow state, like when you disappear and God just takes over. And I used to feel that a lot until the assault. And then suddenly, I just felt dead all the time. And I got sick of feeling dead all the time. I think that's what's cool about doing music again. It's about me trying to find my voice. But yeah, it was quite hard. After the incident, it's such a messy story. I'm gonna start again.
Mataio's interview, take one.
Action. I'm Teo, and I'm a rapper from West Auckland. Without music, I'd definitely be patched up or doing stuff that is not positive for my life, for sure. Growing up, I had a childhood that was unorthodox. It's me and my dad, Big Pops. Dad, he's an interesting guy. He spent a good majority of his life on the crime side of things. He's been in and out of jail. We have photos from different times, like from when he was out and when he wasn't. So yeah, this is a cute one. I like this one. I had a rocky relationship with my mother, something that I wasn't able to really understand until hindsight. She's very lovely. She's very nice, but we both always sort of saw life a bit differently, you know? I think that a lot of my problems with her stemmed from just my problems in general and her being the only person that I could sort of turn to blame it on, you know? Eventually, it got to the point where I just had a huge falling out, and that caused me to be completely cut off, you know, completely homeless. There was nights where I'd be able to stay at a friend's house on a couch, and then there was nights where I'd be in the backseat of my car. Just park up here, have a little skate around the car park. My backseat, which is currently my cupboard, I decked it out into a nice little bed. Without going through the things that I went through and seeing the things that I did, I wouldn't have the same ability to look at things from a different perspective. I put myself in this position, technically, and I'm the one that has the power to change things. I feel a little bit stressed about like how everything's gonna sound, because I've only made so much of the song. I need to see what it's gonna sound like when the band comes. I'm a perfectionist. I could write a song in 2 minutes, but whether or not it's gonna be a song that I'm proud of and that I'm happy to present to all these people, that's where the pressure comes in.
How you feeling with things at the moment?
I'm good. I have trust in like the people we're working with and the whole process and everything like that, so I just wanted to let everything pan out the way it needs to be, you know?
Mataio had been through all of the systems, but the system that brought him to us was through Oranga Tamariki. He was actually with his mentor at the time, who was part of a different program. The story goes is that he sat at the doorstep for 3 hours or something like that, just waiting for somebody to show up.
We get there and no one's there. And so yeah, we just sat in front of Dave's door, and then eventually Dave came and he just walked up and he's like, oh, hey guys, and introduced me, and I basically just told him what I'm about.
The first thing he did was he was like, you've got to hear me rap. If this was back in the 90s and I was a record label, everybody would know who Mataio is.
You don't know you really love me when you're smoking on my weed.
It was one of those moments where you listen to somebody and you're like, this guy has something, you know, that he has something amazing. Here you have this young man who's starting to believe that he has something to offer this industry, and I saw that as hunger.
Yeah, yeah. 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm on my way to have a mentoring session with No Comply to a rap group out of New Zealand. Should be pretty mean, should be pretty chill, pretty gangster. I'm hoping to gain some insight in the ins and outs of the business and the industry and things like that, and sort of just, you know, hear their story and their side of things and get my own perspective on everything. So.
Hey, pick up this teacup, peer into its world, sample every different flavor, then on paper put in words what you think it means to be alive. And as the answer swirls, take a second breath of oxygen. The time is now, drink up again. Feeling this effect, I start to speak a brand new dialect, but once with no regrets, I soon forget the common people's flex. A simple gesture, please tear down your vesture. Enter all the infinite, release your mind and sink a bit. Just mount my ego. Mount my ego. Sitting at the pier, now the sun's down. You and I, the only ones around. Used to kick it here on my lonely.
The first thing I wanted to know was sort of just like how you guys solidified yourself to sort of get there, to be signed in the first place. Like, what steps did you guys take?
We've both been making music since we were kids. I had a couple of friends up here that were in a band called Lakes. So they gave me the invite up, and they were like, man, you should start writing raps, because one of the guys was a rapper. Yeah. So that's how I got into it anyway, and like nothing more really came of that until...
I just jumped on the bandwagon, bro. I was like a little low-key fanboy. So I just made beats for 6 months, and then I was average for so long, and then something just clicked, and then I was like, yo, Finn.
Where do you think that comes from, that musicians specifically tend to need a little bit more help when it comes to dealing with mental issues and substance abuse and things like that?
Contrary to how you'd see me on stage, I'm a very unconfident person. I didn't know how to cope with it, so I would hit the bottle a lot. Yeah. I'd drink a lot. I was addicted to drugs for a long time, because that's the only kind of way that I knew how to subside those feelings. Until I realized that I was just being self-destructive, I think. It wasn't until I had a friend that said that anxious feeling you get, that deep pit in your chest, try and imagine that it's excitement. So just turn that feeling into excitement and just try and hype yourself up as much as you can.
We grew up with privilege and we grew up with these opportunities and connections, and we're so blessed and grateful for that. And there's people like Mataio that don't necessarily have that.
Like, no, tell me what's realer than being fed up with federales and fellas who filling up in your get up for weed and fucking your bread up. They confiscated the ransom.
It's our duty to give back in a way, and I think he is totally deserving.
Say that she had, I got my mind on my money, mine leaving me alone. Like, fuck, wait, hold on, let me run it back. I gotta fucking.
I honestly believe that if people came down and saw what we saw today, that he would have a shot easily. 100%. And I think like now, knowing that he needs a producer and he can come around here and we can produce for him, and like I'm real keen to get him introduced to some other people up in the industry, because I think the dude definitely has what it takes.
Thank you so much for having me, man. It's such a blessing.
You're so welcome anytime, brother.
It's such a happy day, brother.
Really, really busy. We don't have a whole heap of time left, you know, so it's just about keeping the troops caffeinated. And also, we've got a whole bunch of radio time, and we're talking to contacts that we have in the radio business about getting some interviews. My FM are keen to do something. Could be a good push for some late ticket sales. If we don't sell this event out, it's actually going to cost the trust money rather than raise money. That's really where we're at the moment, kind of bottom line.
You don't want that.
No.
No.
Mataio has been in touch about getting involved with radio, whether it be ads or interviews and things like that.
I'm not stressed. I feel like I just gotta send out an email and meet up at a radio station or whatever.
I haven't actually heard from him, so I did tell him just to get in touch and that I could make some contacts for him.
I'm pretty confident that everything's gonna go as planned. And
if you don't feel pressured, then you're not working hard enough, I guess. Somebody's not doing something right.
Might have to have a word with Mataio about his communication.
You happy with that?
I'm happy with that.
Ready when you are.
Crescendo presents Sunday Jams.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, you happy with that?
Yeah, I'd buy a ticket.
You buy a ticket.
I really want to do well at this gig, and I'm hoping that it's going to open doors for me. But like, it's dangerous to put that on me. Because if I fuck up, I feel like my whole future is just like over, which is not the case. You know, you have wins and you have losses, and you shouldn't be afraid of failure.
Swapping left on a self-entitled sex craze. My body don't want your praise. Feeling shit.
Taking back the power is what I want this song to mean.
Which is beautiful. Yeah?
Thanks, G.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, with me saying my body is mine, it's just because I felt like my body was stolen from me and I didn't get a say in what my body could do. So it's just me reclaiming that power again.
I'm just thinking, like, how do we portray that, you know, on stage? Have you had to think about how you want to do that?
Yeah, my choreographer had a mean idea. So I'm gonna wear a jacket, and my dancers will be on either side of me.
Yeah.
And when I'm going, and now I'm a woman, they'll slowly take off my jacket. And then they carry it behind me, show that it says my body is mine, and they kind of walk behind and then drop it.
You want to be careful with the whole, like, pulling, like, clothes off and stuff like that, especially when you say, like, my body is mine, but you don't want it to come off as, like, now I'm giving it back away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it's a very, very powerful statement. At the end of the day, it should be your choice, you know, like how you want to represent yourself. What's the best way to get my message out there? You know, so that it can't be misinterpreted. So, like, my body is mine.
It's good that you said that, because it brings me back down to earth. Because, like, in my head...
I don't want to. I don't mean to, by the way.
Yeah. But it's good for me to be aware that not everyone would have had an experience with sexual assault. They might not know what I'm talking about. And I don't explicitly say consent or anything like that. I think when I was writing this song, or when I envisioned this performance, I don't really give a rat's ass about those people. I'm targeting, you know, the girls that are... Fucking makes me so emotional. Like.
Yeah, I know. We can cut there.
We can cut there.
Yeah.
I'll definitely say there's the heart of the hood. This is just what we grew up around in. We ain't trying to glorify it, but violence, all that type of stuff.
All growing up, I just hear about Kora. Like what my dad vibes to and stuff. If we can't get that across, my man, there's no point. Yeah.
We're 3.5 weeks out from the performance.
We're 2.5 weeks out.
Are we?
Yeah.
Fucking kidding.
On my lower self, I might take him out. Give a fuck if he run his mouth. That's what this about. In the cut, middle fingers out. It's a ground and pound. Hear the sound when he come around. Better lay him down. I got beef with my self-esteem. Need to up the heat. Japanese sushi, what I eat. I turn to a beat. Smoke the tree. Feel like I'm asleep. I be in the dream. Let's just sleep. Got no enemies. I'm too fucking free.